The oud is a musical instrument that originated in the Middle East about 2,000 years ago. It has maintained its basic design throughout these centuries. Today, it is found in every Middle Eastern and Near Eastern country, namely Armenia, Greece, Turkey, and all the Arab countries. The Crusaders brought this instrument back with them to Europe and called it the lute. The major difference between the oud and lute is that the lute has frets. The oud, then, is similar to the cello or violin in that it does not have frets. Kurt Sachs, in his book The History of Musical Instruments, published in 1940, called the oud the noblest instrument of art music, made according to mathematical principles and the object of cosmological speculation. Currently, it holds a very prevalent position in most Middle Eastern orchestras and ensembles. The oud's popularity most likely came about because of its warm, appealing tone, its distinctive feature that permits the performer to play both melody and rhythm simultaneously, and because of its ideal match to accompany a singer's voice. The oud is often referred to as pear-shaped. The back is made of several strips of wood, from 19 to 26, all glued together. The entire instrument is held together by glue, not screws or metal. The types of woods vary, but most often they are hardwoods, such as mahogany or walnut. The front or face of the instrument is made from spruce, with 3 holes, the center hole being the largest. They are covered by a geometric arabesque floret, typically made of horn or ivory, although more modern-day instruments have a synthetic material. The fingerboard is usually made of ebony or other hard wood. Some more ornate instruments have sedef, otherwise known as mother of pearl, inlaid on the fingerboard and very likely around the sound holes. The small piece at the end of the fingerboard is the nut. The peg box is extended diagonally from the fingerboard with 10, 11, or 12 pegs, depending on the age of the instrument. The more desirable pegs are made from ebony. Most often, violin pegs are used. John Vartan has been playing the oud now for 40 years. He has produced 6 albums and has been on 29 other recordings, including television advertisements and movie soundtracks. John received his doctorate from the School of Education at New York University. He has been a faculty member at Kane University in Union, New Jersey since 1980. Here now is John Vartan.
Most ouds of recent years have 6 strings. There's 5 pairs tuned in unison and 1 heavier lower sounding or bass string totaling 11 strings. The traditional tuning of the oud is the first string is D, the second string is A, the third string is E, the fourth B, the fifth A, and again, 6th string is E. Most players of Arabic ouds tune their oud 1 full tone lower than the arrangement above, so that the tuning would be C, G, D, A, G, D. It is possible, of course, to tune the oud with other tones to achieve a desired effect, and some players do. The oud is held very much like the guitar, and in that you pluck it in this fashion. It's often awkward, though, because it has a round back belly, and very many players find that it just slips out of their hands. So some players will have a piece of foam, such as this, and place it on their knee, and it helps hold the instrument in place. To grasp the instrument arm or neck is to hold it first with your thumb like this and your hand like so. And take your right arm and place it around the instrument and tuck it under your right arm. Traditionally, the oud is played with an eagle's feather, and the eagle's feather is said to give flight to the musicians playing by the ancient Persians. It's very much like this. However, to pluck the instrument, you have to grasp your fist like so and crisscross your fingers across your thumb and your index finger so that you get the full capability of a more powerful stroke. Today, instead of using eagle's feathers, we use plastic picks or nylon picks. And of course, they don't wear out, and it works well for conservation. Okay. In order to pluck the instrument, it's usually, you find that it's up or down strokes that are done, so it's down. But as we will see later, I will describe to you how upstrokes are really the preferable method to use to train yourself to become a better player. Okay. What I prefer to teach students in terms of learning the oud is to first learn the A minor scale, simply because it has A, B, C, D, E, F, G built into it automatically, and it's easy to relate and recognize that. So what we have on the oud then is the tone A, and the tone B, right? And then tone E, and the tone A. So in order for us to learn how to play, what we have to do is do A, B, C, D, F, G, A. So what we have then is a pattern of A minor, and going down the scale is. Now in order for us to do this, you take the index finger and the ring finger and use those only for these tones. So A, B are both open, and then C is with the first finger placed in the very closest position next to the nut. Center, almost the center of the neck. The E is open. F again is very much in the same position as would be the C. Pretend there's a fret there or a line there, so that F and C fall on the same line. F, G, and then A is open. So this prepares us for one octave. This is one octave. So eventually you should be able to play like this. Okay. Now once you achieve that, the next thing to do is to extend the scale from A to C. So you would have A on the upper octave, B, and then C. So A, B, C are in two different positions than where the C and the D in the lower octave. So you would have A, B, in much further from the nut, as you can see, and C played with the second finger, or the middle finger. Okay. Now what we can do with this is to play the C major scale. So you have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then you go down. The next portion I'd like to show you are modes. Now modes are intriguing. The first typical mode that is described is rust. Rust is very much like any major sounding scale. What's intriguing about the modes, though, are that they are not considered scales per se. In the Middle East, modes resemble the term moods in a certain regard, and that is that they describe a certain feeling, a sad feeling, a happy feeling, a mystical feeling, and that's the purpose of the modes. It's not, when I traveled to the Middle East and I would ask them to play certain modes for me, each player put themselves in a certain frame of mind before performing the mode. And I tried to get them to demonstrate the mode in terms of a scale, but they never ever saw the the mode in terms of a scale. But for our Western ears, we'd like to understand what the range of the mode is. So what I'd like to show you then is, for example, Rast would be D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. So that's the major scale, essentially, for us. And down. Next mode is what we call D minor, and that's the Middle Eastern Nihavent. For each mode there are identifiers so that the listener can actually understand where the player is. There actually are families of modes, and they are basically to stay within the families. One cannot switch from one family to the other just by a whim. You have to know how to go from one family to the other, and there are connecting points, connecting bridges. Another mode I'd like to show you that kind of represents a lot of what Westerners feel are Eastern music is this mode referred to as Hijaz. And Hijaz is typically played on E. It could be E or D. And Hijaz sounds like this. It's E, F, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E. And when you're going down the scale, you can use C natural, B, A, G sharp, F, E. Now, recognize, please, that in the Middle East there are tones in between the white and black keys of the piano, referred to as quarter tones or eighth tones. So this is one mode that actually uses this. Both Rast and Hijaz, both Rast and Nihavent use whole tones, but these modes following will use quarter tones and eighth tones. So Hijaz really has, when we say F sharp, it's not really F sharp, it's F quarter. And G sharp quarter, it's actually 3/8. Here too, it's not really C sharp, it's C sharp flattened a little bit. Okay, and now the next one is Husseini. Husseini is very much like an E minor chord, and it sounds like this: E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, E, and going down use this natural C. So here too, in this case, the F sharp is quartered once again. Okay, likewise is the higher E C sharp. Okay, next is Ushak. Ushak is an interesting mode. It sounds very much like Husseini, but it's played usually on a higher pitch, which is A, and then in this case the attention is paid to the fifth. So the fifth gets the most of the attention or action. So most of the music is played around that fifth. And so what happens in this case is the mode really extends itself from A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. Okay. The next one I'd like to show you is one that a lot of Westerners find to be quite mystical. It's called Chatraban, and it sounds like this. It's A, B flat, C sharp, D, E, F, G sharp, A. And so what we hear then is that sort of that really Middle Eastern thing. A popular melody that's played with this is Mizulu. Okay. Another mode I'd like to show you is Shenaz. This is very popular in Persian. In the Persian and the Greeks use this an awful lot. It sounds like this. notes would be A, B, C, E flat, E, F, G sharp, A. Okay, and another mode that's kind of mystical is called Sabah. It means morning, and it has that kind of morning quality about it. It's really largely around a very small area. So in other words, it's played in E, so you have E, F sharp, G, G sharp. Now here too, there's eighth tones and quarter tones. So you have E, F sharp, quarter, G natural always, and then G sharp, which is eighth. So taking the range again, it would be E, F sharp, G, G sharp, B, C, D, E. And Sabah has actually two parts to it. There's this is one part, and then it goes to a second part, which is, and the second part is taken in slightly different fashion. You start on the D string. So you have D, E flat, F sharp, G, F sharp, E flat, 8D, C, B, G sharp, G, F sharp, E. Okay. Next mode, I have two more I'd like to describe to you, and one is Huzam. Now this is a sort of a D major chord in a way. What we have is F sharp, and so we have here too, quarter tones are applied, never on the tonic, which is F sharp. So here in this case, the range of this mode would be F sharp, G, A, B flat, C sharp, D, F natural, F sharp. Again. Okay. Now the last mode I'd like to describe is Hijaz Kar. And I selected each of these modes because basically these are the fundamental modes. Other modes that are used, and if you change one or two notes, the name will change. Like before, for example, we said Hijaz, and now this is Hijaz Kar. So, or Kurli Hijaz Kar, they say that too. It sounds like this. It's simply using the white keys of the piano if you start on E. So for example, if you started on E here on the Oud, okay, now very often you'll hear this played in D. And the typical sound of the mode is like this. Kind of melancholy. The Persians love this mode very well. Okay, that's for modes. Now I would like to continue, if I may, and just describe one of the another of the distinctive features of Middle Eastern music is the rhythms. The modes and the rhythms, in fact, the combination is really what makes Middle Eastern music very outstanding. So here's how I see the rhythms. They're basically they travel from 2 to 10, or they extend from 2 to 10, and I'll describe that to you. For example, the first tempo is 2/4, so we can have a 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Next is 3/4. It's very much like our Western waltz. So it's 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay, and then next is 4/4, and this is universal. All cultures in the world have 4/4, probably because of our walking paces and our beating hearts. And typical 4/4 would be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Next tempo is 5/4, and this is very popular in the Balkan areas. And 5/4 sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and next is 6/8. 6/8 sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next one is 7/8. 7/8 is really popular with Greeks. They have an interesting tempo in that it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 8/8 is very much like 4/4 and 2/4 because they have the same derivative. So a typical 8 would sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 9/8 though is even more intriguing in that it has a kind of pulse of a 4 built into it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rest, or we say, and as musicians counting it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then the last one of this list is 10/8. 10/8 is very interesting. It's a straight count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it sounds like this. Okay. Now, what happens in many cultures, they will combine the tempos so that you would have 5/4 mixed with 9/8 and 7/8. It could be all in one line. Armenians do that. Some people in the Balkans do that. Bulgarians have a very complicated music. There are other tempos, so you will find them mixed together sometimes, but basically these are the fundamental rhythms that are used. Okay, at this time I'm going to continue with some simple pieces that a beginner oud player might want to start with. One very simple piece, and I have them in our manual, is called Imchinari Yara, and it sounds like this. And it's played simply in G major. So you have it's taken in G. Also in the same key can be a piece called Kale Kale. It sounds like this. recognizing that I'm playing a little fancy for the beginner, but I'm sure if you repeat the tape you can pick up a lot of the points and some of the more advanced techniques. By the way, some of the advanced techniques are using tremolo, which is this. And using trills like this. On each of the strings. And also the vibrato, which is this. And the way to achieve vibrato is to rest your thumb down and allow your wrist to swing freely, like this. Okay, now the combination of the trill and the vibrato make for a nice tone on the oud. One last piece I'd like to play would be Hingala, and it's a simple piece for you. It's A minor, so it starts A, C, E, B, C, B, E. It's in 3/4. Okay, I wish you much luck, and you can use my email address on the screen to get in touch with me, or call me at the given number on the bottom of the screen, and good luck to you.